Hey, sis. Welcome to Now Woman Rising, the podcast for purpose-driven, faith-filled, family-shifting, legacy-making women who is done playing small. I'm Alicia Hurt, servant leader, wife, mama, and your holistic wellness home girl. Here to walk with you as you rise, heal, break cycles, and shine unapologetically in your God-given purpose. Whether you're trailblazing in your business, praying over your babies, or just trying to drink your water and mind your business, we see you, sis. Here's the truth. You are not alone. This space is sacred and safe. So grab your tea, light your candle, and let's get into this soul talk. Let's rise, let's glow, let's go. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Now Women Rising. I have another phenomenal woman here, a dynamic woman here locally in Bainbridge, Georgia. I am so excited to have Raven Parris here. She's a doula, she's a mother, she's a registered nurse, she's a speaker, man. She is everything. She's a servant leader, a true definition of it. How you doing, Raven?
I'm doing so good and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, no, the pleasure is like the honor is mine. So let's jump right in. I know I gave you an intro, but there's a lot more to you. So please tell the people who you are and a little bit about you.
Okay, so hey people, my name's Raven. Like Alicia mentioned, I am from Bainbridge, born and raised Southern country girl. Spent almost 10 years in the city, and now I'm back doing what I love, which is serving the rural population, and whether that be through being a doula, my work as a doula, serving moms and families, whether that's the work in the community events, connecting people to community resources. I like to say, like, I might not have all the answers, but I will find them for you if I can, and I will share because I believe that village is the way to success in life, and it's how we survive. And so, yeah, I'm a nurse. I'm a doula, a community advocate is what I call myself. And most of all, I like to um, encourage people, encourage women and moms specifically. I've been through a lot in my life, childhood trauma, infertility, health struggles, divorce, and I feel like I've taken all of those situations, I've learned from them, and I've created a beautiful life for myself with God's grace. And I like to share my story and be transparent to encourage other people who are in the middle of tough seasons. So I'm so excited to share more and be here.
Absolutely. So, what moment in your life made you realize you were called to break generational patterns?
Yes, breaking generational trauma. So like I mentioned, I've been through a lot in my life and I've been doing the healing work, but I don't think it hit me until I became a parent. And I realized I didn't want to just do things the same way. I didn't want my child to inherit my beliefs and the things that I had to heal from in therapy just because it was the way that things had always been done. So, um, I decided to say no to some traditions and parent from a more intentional place, and it made seeing him grow in the way that he's able to develop and be himself and who God's called him to be. It made me realize that yeah, this is doing the work. This is breaking the generational patterns. And I'll say part two segue to that also is I've seen a lot of unhealthy relationships in my life, right? And being a single parent is not something that I ever imagined for my life, but I realized that choosing to raise my child in a home where there is one healthy parent um, can be beneficial, because I've seen a lot of times where people stay and the environment has two parents, but it's not a healthy environment, and that affects the child as well. And so choosing to do the hard thing um, is required sometimes to break generational patterns. And you have to go with God and go with that strength, and it might be uncomfortable, but you'll develop some courage and some faith on the other side.
Amen. So, what lie did you have to unlearn to fully walk in your purpose?
Okay. Okay. For me, and this is an ongoing thing that I have to remind myself, is that I am worthy of love and support without having to earn it. Right. So my internal belief is that I'm kind of valuable based on what I can give to people and how I perform. So making sure, like, I was always the kid that made all A's, right? And so I kind of equated love and worth being attached to how I could perform for people. And so I had to unlearn that lie, and to learn that, like, God sees me as worthy just for being who I am and who he created me to be, regardless, right? But my worth is not attached to my perfection and my performance, and that I can show up, I can be me, raw, transparent, and God can still use me in the way that he intended for me to show up and do the things that he has called me um to do. And so I just got to do that. I don't have to be perfect. I just got to be willing and surrendered and submit.
Amen. I so agree with you. So, was it something about your worth, your timing, or just your identity that really impacted it?
Oh gosh, I will say, where's my timing? Maybe it would say my worth, because once I realized that I don't have to be perfect to be worthy, um, I was able to show up and do the things that I wanted to do, but maybe I had been too scared to do because it was unfamiliar to me. And that could have been like even doing something like this, or showing up in spaces as a doula, or um, women's empowerment. Like, oh, I don't know exactly what to say, or I'm not the best public speaker, but as long as you stay surrendered, it doesn't have to be perfect.
I agree. It gets messy when you're
Yes.
making a masterpiece, right?
Yes.
When you
Yes. Yes.
So describe seasons where God, or a season where God's weight felt like he was saying no. And what did you learn in that in-between phase?
Okay. So, um, I was diagnosed with infertility at one point in time, and that felt like many months of God saying, "Motherhood is not for you. Motherhood is not for you." Um, and so I had to learn faith in the waiting. I had to learn patience in the waiting. And I had to learn that sometimes you just have to pull away and listen to what God is telling you to do and how to navigate situations. Um, and it might not make sense to the world as to how you are handling it or how you choose to navigate it. But that the most important thing is that you follow God and stay surrendered in the in between. And that's hard for me because I'm a person that likes to have a plan and a deadline and a time and show up. So when I wanted to have a baby, I wanted it to be like, okay, I'm planning to have the baby, and the baby is gonna come in this month right here. And so I had to be learn to be okay with it not being in my control, and to keep the faith month after month after month after month after month, when it seemed like I was like, nope, nope. But it really was just not yet, not
That's
yet.
it. Not yet. I love that. And I love that you're being transparent, because when you say surrender, folks be like, oh, but she got it all together and oh, it's just perfect. No, no, no. We
No,
showing
no,
you,
no.
no, it was messy. There were
No,
moments of frustration.
there were definitely moments. I mean, there was a time where I was like, okay, God, like, what's up? Like, I'm doing it the right way. I'm following you. I'm fasting. I'm praying. What are you doing?
That's
What
it.
are you doing?
Then you start checking the list off for God. I
Right.
did this, I did that. And he looking at you like, for real? That's what you gonna say to me?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me, how do you balance being a powerhouse for others while still nurturing yourself?
Oh, this one is hard for me because I like to give and give and give so much. But I learned recently, and I say recently, I mean like within the past year and a half, like I cannot pour from a empty cup. And when my cup is half full, I'm not my best either. So um I have to take care of myself and to be able to do the work, to show up for other people. And I mean, what does that look like, especially being a single parent? I mean, it looks like being intentional with my schedule, making sure, okay, it's time to wind down, it's bedtime because I need time to pour into myself. Well, whether that's a long shower, a cup of tea, and a devotional, doing some stretching, going on my walks. Like, I have to be intentional with those things that fill up my cup so that I stay well and healthy and so that I can show up for other people.
That's
And
right.
also learning to have grace for yourself when you want to show up for yourself and the community too, because you're one person.
So like last year, I was doing a training with my broker for real estate, and she was like, "Well, you guys got to get your schedules together." And I was like, "Ooh, that sounds so good, but it's not gonna work." She was like, we're gonna deal with you right now." And she was like, "Well, tell me what you do, tell me your times." I'm like, "What does this have to do with selling houses?" But then she said, "In my house at 8:30, we said we don't talk to kids. We don't talk to kids at 8:30. So you should be in the bed. You should have everything that you need. We do not." And she said at first her husband wasn't on board. And so he had to talk to the kids because she had already said
I'm done.
at 8:30, we do not talk to kids in this. And so I have adapted it. And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "No, I'm straight up." And my
Mhm.
husband was like, "Oh, it's a weekend." Now he like, 8:30 is bedtime.
Exactly, like, that time is so important, and it took me a long time to not feel, like, guilty about
Yes,
having a straight bedtime, but no, you need your sleep, I need my sleep, and I need my time, and we're all gonna honor it so that we can be our best in this household.
that's right. And they'll be all right. They're talking about, "We ain't sleepy. My
Exactly.
eyes." I said,
Read a book.
"Hey,
Read a
that's
book.
it.
Read a
That's it.
book.
Pray, count sheep." They like, "Count sheep." Yup.
Yep. Exactly.
So was there ever a moment when you wanted to quit on your dream, your assignment, or even yourself?
Oh my goodness, absolutely, yes. So many yeses. I mean, um, going through infertility, I just felt, at some point after you're a year in, 13, 14 months in of believing God for children and it's not happening, of course you get weary, you get weak. Building a business as a doula and then the pandemic coming, feeling like you're finally walking in your purpose and then the pandemic comes and it disrupts everything in the hospital. Is like you doulas are not allowed. So feeling like, your dream is just being snatched away from you, even though I knew in my heart that supporting this group of people is what God called me to do. I wanted to give up. And then even going through a divorce, right? After you've shared your story of like becoming a mother and becoming a doula and feeling like sh that whole journey and God's was like God's redemption story for you, for me, considering my childhood. I kind of felt like, well, I just needed to shrink back, right? And I didn't have a voice, I didn't have a story that was worth sharing um anymore. Like my story wasn't good enough. But then I just had to realize like there's always a testimony, there's always a story somewhere that's gonna help someone else. And even though my story didn't play out the way that I had it written in my head, it's not over yet, right?
That's
And
right.
there's still people that can benefit from my yes to keep going for my dream and my assignment and not to give up on me. There's still people who can benefit from what I have to share.
Amen. And I know for my journey overcoming infertility, when the doctor said the first time the in vitro worked and they saw the baby, we got the picture, and then you go back and get checked every week and they're like, oh, the baby's not growing. We're going to have to do a DNC, or you just have to, pass the baby naturally.
Mhm.
And I had my family around me. My husband was there, but I really felt by myself. Like, were there times that you felt that loneliness, that you couldn't just put your finger on it?
Absolutely. I feel like at first I didn't know, right? Like I didn't have a diagnosis. I just know I want to be pregnant and it wasn't happening. And so when you see it just happen very easily for everybody around you, and it's not happening for you, and you don't have a diagnosis and you haven't connected with anybody else that's gone through it, you just feel isolated and alone and you don't really even know what to do. And so that was the start of my journey. And honestly, how I even started posting more on social media, because I was like, well, I just want to be transparent and maybe I'll find somebody who is also going through something similar so that I can connect with them.
Amen. I am so happy that you did that, because there were folks like me that was scared. I felt ashamed. And I was
Mhm.
talking to my circle, but like not out loud. And that is why now organizations and people like you
Yeah.
are really helping women come out and be pulled out of that rut and say, hey, you're truly not by yourself. Like, I've had these thoughts,
Absolutely.
I've gone
Yes.
through it. Like, let's talk about
Yes,
it.
yes, yes, absolutely. And it's so important to create those spaces because there are so many people that struggle with whether it's infertility, secondary infertility, loss, needing to do IVF or IUIs. Like there are so many people, but because we just keep it in and we just try to navigate it through ourselves and we miss out on moments where we could be supported or we could have community.
Yeah. So tell me, how has your definition of success changed as you've grown in faith and purpose?
Mm, okay. So, like I talked about earlier, I really equated success to being perfect and grades. And so, success for me was going to school or getting a degree and having a lot of external validation and applause. But now I reached a point where, and I'm just be clear, I'm in school now and I still want to have good grades, but I get fulfillment and I feel successful because I'm showing up in spaces like this, because I'm actually doing the work that I feel I'm called to do. And I feel success when I wake up every morning and I have peace and I feel good about what I'm doing in my life and my nervous system is regulated and I can wake up and I can pray and I can go on a walk and I can show up the way that I want to as a parent, and I can be proud of the way that I show up in the world and being connected to people like you, people who push me into my purpose and create opportunities and constantly mention my name in spaces where it's aligned with what I truly want to do. And sometimes people won't get it, and that's okay because I validate myself.
Amen. So tell me, what does being a now woman mean to you in this season of your life?
Yes, in this season, being a now woman means that I choose me. I choose to show up fully in the way that I know that I should, and I'm not shrinking back for it. Like I'm celebrating myself now. I'm saying yes to every opportunity now, and I'm not going to dim my light for anybody. Like if you don't feel comfortable being around me doing all the things, then you just gonna have to leave because I'm saying yes to all the things. And
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
waiting for anybody to choose me. I'm saying, yes, I'm here. What do you need me to do? The podcast, the speaking event? You want me to do a event? Yes. The answer is yes. I'm here. It's now. The time is now. I'm doing it.
Speaking of event, you have one coming up. Let's talk about it. Come
Oh,
on.
yes, yes. So I'm so excited that I was invited to be on the panel for the Bold and Beautiful event. It's going to be on July the 19th in Bainbridge, Georgia. It's going to be a beautiful time. Um, it's going to be full of sisterhood and community and healing and transparency and good food and beautiful decorations and probably a lot of crying. So I am excited to share whatever God has for me to share. I don't know
Amen.
which way the conversation is going to go, but I'm surrendered to sharing and however that's going to help benefit all of us.
That's right. So tell me about a time when obedience to God, it didn't make sense at all. Like you felt crazy, right?
Right.
But it changed everything.
Okay. So I know I've talked about this a lot, but the way I approached my infertility journey didn't make sense to anybody, but it led to me being the person that I am today. And the reason why I say that is because, like I mentioned, I didn't know anybody that was going through infertility, and this was back years ago, and I'm in rural Georgia, so there's not a lot of providers who are knowledgeable about hormonal imbalances, PCOS, and holistic healing. And so after realizing that, infertility was it was just a portion of what PCOS does to the body. I really wanted to learn about holistic healing so that I could be my best self for the rest of my life. Like, not just get the baby, but also be my healthiest self. And so being obedient, starting a blog, and fasting and praying led to it led to me becoming a content creator. It led to me working with major brands and companies talking about wellness, led to me being a speaker, led to me being a doula. Like, it led to my whole this life that I never imagined for myself. Like, I thought I was going to nursing school and then I would eventually become a nurse practitioner. And somehow it turned into this beautiful life that I would hate to have missed out on.
Amen. So what legacy are you intentionally building for your family and future generations?
Oh, this is a good one. Um, I want to leave a legacy of health, of wellness, of emotional stability, of my home always being a safe space for my child, a place where home is full of love and good memories, and um, generational wealth. Yes, that is what I want to leave and build for my family.
So if you could sit down with your younger self, what would you tell her about the woman that she's becoming?
Oh my goodness. I would tell my younger self that, ugh, I would tell her that she is not too much. Her feelings are not too much. Um, she doesn't require too much. She is valuable and she's already enough, and that life gets better because she gets to become a beautiful person who is a leader, a cycle breaker, a safe place, um, somebody that's full of love, and everything that she needed, she becomes. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. So, Raven, this is your time. If folks want to get in touch with you, like how can they connect with you? Maybe you forgot something else that you do because you got a long list of what you do. Talk to us about it. Give us your information.
Yeah, so I would love for you to connect with me online. My Instagram is Ray the Doula. TikTok is Doula Ray, and my Facebook, Ray the Doula, Raven Parris. find me online. Email me if you have specific questions or needs. I'm always happy to respond. raythedoula@gmail.com. My website, raythedoula.com. Anywhere, search Ray the Doula on Google and you will find me. You will find me, email me, and I'm here to support you.
All right. And so for the woman that's listening that still is like, oh my God, I still don't have hope. I still feel like I can't get to that next level. What would you tell her?
Oh my goodness. I would tell her to find your tribe. Find people that will pour into you, whether that be your small group at church, something like you have at a wellness center, a motherhood support group. Go to the library and go to toddler time or kids time if you need to, but find the people who can pour into you, because we all need village and we all need community and we all need people to help pull us up when we can't see our best self. It's always in there, but sometimes we just need to surround ourselves with people that can help us create a space for our best self to shine.
Amen. And well said. And again, I thank you so much for your time, Raven. This is not the last discussion, y'all.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Yes. And thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Now Women Rising. Until next time, love y'all.
Yes, bye.
Woo! Yes, Lord. That was so good. Sis, if nobody told you today, let me be the first. You are chosen. You are covered. And you are called for such a time as this. Keep standing tall, walking bold, and staying surrendered. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with your sister circle, and leave a review so we can keep spreading the word for this kingdom vibe. Until next time, this is Alicia Hurt reminding you, you are not alone, and you were never meant to be. Now, woman, rise up and let's go.